Hello, welcome to WayKen's Machine Epic column. I am Polygon, a former process engineer with years of experience in manufacturing industry. Now as a project manager at WayKen Rapid Manufacturing, my role is to assist the designer in crafting tomorrow's innovation and machining the world first class products. So WayKen's Machine Epic column, we will introduce how we arrange production management for different types of industry. We will show you how we turn designers' dream into reality. Let's embark on today's journey together.
Hi, this is WayKen Rapid. I'm Tony Gong from the Customer Supporting Office. May I ask what I can support you? Okay, got it. Okay. So your company is searching for suppliers that have the capability of mass production, but you may start from the R&D phase, right? Okay, start from 100 pieces or less. Okay, of course. We're interested for no volume production runs. Here at WayKen, we provide one-stop service from prototype to production. We will have one-on-one project manager to follow up and support you soon.
The first thing you have just seen is a frequent customer pain point encountered by our sales team. The customer is a startup tech company. They are at the initial stage and they will start from prototype build to verify and optimize the product design. Then follow up with the small volume run to test the market response. Finally, they will kick off the serious production. However, in most cases, they are struggling on finding qualified supplier who can support them all the way from prototype to final production. One of the issues is most of the manufacturers are not interested in small volume purchase. Another issue is a big concern on how the factory will handle the low volume production run. Means even the quantity is small, but you definitely not want your product quality to be compromised. And you will want the production status is on tracking and the delivery is on time. Now I'm at WayKen Rapid CNC Machining shop. So how to make sure you have hand over your parts to a reliable and responsible hands, which you can be relaxed. The question is how you can tell the hardcore and the softcore strengths of your manufacturing partner. You are lucky to watch this video today. If you happen to have the small volume production demands and you are struggling on find qualified supplier who can support you on small series or custom demand CNC machining service. In my hand, this is a score sheet when customers supplier quality engineer, they have an on-site audit to their supplier. So if you are SQE, you must know this very well about this kind of audit. The SQE, they will ask several questions to learn about the supplier's capability and their quality system, so they can judge if the supplier is qualified or if the supplier is reliable. Now imagine that you are a serious SQE and you are going to ask some critical questions about our production management, guarantee everything well organized. And today, to fulfill your expectation, I will take you inside the WayKen CNC machining plant to find out the answers. Let's go. The first point I want to introduce is about quality system. So the first question most of the SQE they ask is which standard you have built, like 9001. Also, does your company have some key performance index put on your quality objectives, like on-time delivery, some quality part rate, and the customer satisfaction, something like that. So here at WayKen, we have already passed the 9001. We also have passed the ISO 14001, which is for about the environmental certification. And at this moment, we are also on the process of applying the IATF certification, which is for the car industry. So basically, this is very important. Your manufacturing partner have a very stable quality system, and each department have their KPI to know if they have achieved their target. And for those quality systems, normally the factory needs to do some internal audit or external audit to make sure the system is run very well. So for us, we do the external audit by TUV. So every time when they do the audit, they will ask many questions about each details, each workflow, to ensure this company, their production capability fulfills the ISO 9001 requirements. There is our engineering department. So you would like to know, after we received customers' order, how we handle the production. So first, we will check the drawing and the CAD models from our customer. Our project manager, we will have some information like the demands, the quantity, the material from the customer, and we will make a form and send to our engineering department, and they will check the details one by one. Basically, their work is about they need to review the drawing and review the CAD models, and they will need to make some guidance about how to arrange the production, especially for some small series or series production. So those are the drawings of the original drawings from the customer, and those the original CAD models from the customer. And this one is some kind of standard document we provide to our production team, to our CNC operator. So basically, we can find the information of the material, the tolerance, and the surface finishing from customer's drawing. But this is not enough to organize the production. We need to create some SOP, some standard operation files, something like this, to guidance our worker. What the first step we need to do, the second steps we need to do. So all this we will create a PCP, which we call it is the production control plan. This is about the procedure. Some of the SQE, they may ask how you planning the production, what's the project work. So this is the answer. Here is our CNC programming room. Those are our CNC programming engineers. So before we start CNC machining, the first step is the programming. The programming is based on customer's CAD model, like this. So we will input customer's CAD model, and we will use the CAM software to check the best machining path, and then we will create the program and we put it in the CNC machine to do the machining. This place is a temporary place. We place the raw material for the machining. We don't have a warehouse to stock the material because some of the projects, they are just prototypes and some just small series or series production. The convenience for us is we have a lot of block material supplier around us, which they can send us the material within half hour. So as you can see, every one of the block, there is some numbers. The number is a internal order number. And each block material, they will produce a part belong to each order. As you can see, there are different type of material. Clear material, this one is acrylic, and those is aluminum. Small pieces is cut according to the size of the part and according to the quantity of the order. And those are very large. As you can see, it's very large. We are produce some prototype parts which have a large length. So those are our CNC machines. After the raw material, the block material have arrived at our factory, we will arrange to start the CNC machining process. But here we have different types of 3-axis, 4-axis, 5-axis CNC machining. They have different machining precision. So when we arrange the machining, we will evaluate based on our customer's drawing. We can consider the raw material. Is it plastic? Is it metal? And is it high tolerance? Or is the structure is very complex? We need to use 5-axis. So this will decide what kind of CNC machine we use. And here at WayKen, for some very high requirement parts, to get the most tightest tolerance, we have a machine shop. As you can see here, this is a stable temperature and a stable humidity machine room. And inside here, okay, we can take a look inside. So here we have an air conditioning system to make the environment of this machine shop is very stable. And the basement of the machine, we use very, very thick concrete before we place the CNC machine here. And those are our 5-axis CNC machine. And they can achieve very high accuracy parts and very complex structure parts. Here, this room is our handcraft and surface polishing team. So after the part being machined, some of the parts the customer just need a machine finish is okay for inspection and ship out the parts. But sometimes some of our customers, the products they need a high appearance requirement. So sometimes it needs some handcraft work like deburring, or sometimes they need to check the assemble relationship is everything is okay for the final product filament. And sometimes some of the parts they need the surface polishing to get a high grade of surface finish. So every project we will have a card like this, so we know which step we are in process, and we also have a table to check the status of each project. So we will have a table like this. We have all the order in this sheet, and every morning our team from different departments, we will have a meeting, and we will check one by one of each project and each part is if everything is on track, if there are some problems during the production. So this will ensure us everything is on tracking and everything will be on time. So here is our quality control department. Here is our QC room, and those parts, they are the finished parts, they are ready for shipment. But at this moment, we just do the final inspection before we ship out the parts. So as a SQE, you may ask a very, very critical question is about the measurement and the test system. So the first you would like to know maybe is what kind of inspection we will do before we ship out the parts. So basically we will do first we will check the appearance of the part, like this part. Yeah, we will open the 3D CAD model. We will check if each of the features have been produced. And more importantly, we also need to check the surface finish if it is totally meet the customer's requirements. And the second we will check is about the dimension, the tolerance it can achieve. Like this one, this is a structure part, this is a mechanical part. So we will check the dimension and write down the measured results on the drawing. And if the parts have some of the tolerance out of the tolerance, we will have a label attached here. So we will judge if this part is okay or not. Like this one, we have measured a very precise hole, and we found this hole is slightly out of tolerance, so we will make a mark here. Yep. And if the part is non-conforming, we will not ship out to our customer. And another we will do inspection is about the basic assemble relationship, because sometimes customers they are doing some initial prototypes. They would like to know if the fitment of their parts is okay. So we will also do the fitment check, and we will compare the 3D model. And if we find some like collision with each part, we will provide the feedback before we ship out the parts to our customer. Okay, so another questions the SQE would like to know is about the inspection capability, because sometimes the design parts with very tightest tolerance, and some are linear dimensional tolerance, and some are the GD&T, like the positional and like the shape of the part. So for For the linear tolerance, like the height, like the length, we can use the caliper. It's simple to directly inspect the dimension. But sometimes, like this part, you can see the joint. It have a lot of GD&T, which is the geometry and dimensional tolerance, like the positional, like the profile. So sometimes we will need more precise inspection machine. Like here you can see this is the optical inspection machine. This is also optical inspection machine, and we also have two CMM, coordinator measurement machine. So it allows us to measure the very, very critical high tolerances, like 0001 tolerances. We can use the high precise precision inspection machine to measure the result. So this is one of our advances and one of our capabilities that you can relax, that even your part is a prototype, it can meet very, very high standards. And for all of those inspection machine or the inspection tool, according to the ISO 9001 requirements, we need to do the calibration per year. So this is also very important that your manufacturing partner, they use the right inspection tool and they are used inspection machines that can work. Okay, I think the last questions that each designer or each purchaser they would like to know is about what kind of inspection report we will provide before we ship out the part. So basically, if the project is just like a one-off prototype, we will directly print out the customer's drawing and we will directly measure the actual dimension. Like this one, we will print it and we will write down the measured value, and then we will send it to our customer to confirm. And if the order is a small series production or a series production, so this will be changed. So during the production, we will make the first article and we will make a first article inspection report. And this will include the full dimension measurement. So we will provide something like different type of inspection report. And during the production, which is in process, we will also do some in process measurement step by step like this one. We will write down the measured inspection values during the production. And as regards the final inspection report for series production or small series production, it depends on the customer, what type of inspection report they will need. Sometimes they need a form, sometimes they need some just directly print the drawing, and sometimes they need the CMM report like this kind of. This is the inspection report directly created by the CMM machine. And this one is also a CMM inspection report. It will show the actual tolerance if we hit the requirements a lot. Talk about the quality management. Supplier quality engineer, they also introduced another topic is about the corrective action and the control of the non-conforming product. So basically they have two questions. The first question is about if there is a corrective action procedure exists and if it is followed for the internal in-process quality issues. And the second question is for the external, if there is a corrective actions procedure exists and is followed for the customer complaints. So here at WayKen, we basically, for the slightly quality issue, we will have the corrective and prevention action report. And for the very serious quality issues, both inside or external, we will follow the AD report principle, which means firstly we will implement the containment to control the situation and avoid the further negative effects of the problem. And then we will identify the possible causes of the problem for both occurrence and the non-detection. And then we will develop permanent corrective actions and solutions. And then we will prevent the recurrence of the problem at the problem site and across the organization. Actions like update the production documents, including the pre-firmware, the control plan, the work instruction, inspection standard, and so on. To maintain a stable production of customer product, the supplier quality engineer may also ask about the continuous improvement. So questions like, does the supplier use the management reviews to guide and track the continuous improvement project? So here at WayKen, as I said, we can support from the prototype to the production stage. So continuous improvement is very, very important for us to support our customer. So here at this room, normally we will have a quality meeting every month. The team leader of different departments, we will gather here and we will discuss about what have happened last month and what we need to do to improve this month. So basically we have our ISO 9001 KPI, the key performance index, like the on-time delivery. We have our target is almost 90% of the project should be on-time delivery. No matter it is just one of prototypes or is for small series production. Timing is very critical for us. So this is the first important KPI for us. And the second one is the qualified part rate. So we have our internal target is 95 of the produced part should be qualified. And we also have a customer satisfaction. We need our customer, at least 90% of our customers satisfied our service. This is about our internal improvement. And as regard the customer, they also will ask if the supplier maintains some kind of prioritized action plan for the continuous improvement, like the cost reduction, labor efficiency, productivity improvement, and lead time reduction. Here at WayKen, we have a team to handle all of this to ensure that you can be relaxed to hand over your parts to us. Okay, so today's video visit, we have seen how CNC machining plants achieve high efficiency and high quality production goals, so fine production management. At WayKen Rapid Manufacturing, our management will continue to improve and more amazing products will be made here. Thank you for watching and looking forward to see you next time. Bye bye.